Hello and welcome to Chanakya English. Today, our esteemed guest is a trustee and secretary of Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation. And SPMRF it's a nationalistic think tank all over India. And also he's a former council, he was in the Council of Indian Council of Social Sciences. He was a former professor of finance from PSG Coimbatore. And he's also written Indian-centric books on economics and business models. And one titled Business Models and Indian Economics is a recommended book in prestigious institutes like IIM Bombay and IIM Bangalore. So, and also it's not an exaggeration when we say that he could be the Indian finance minister. So let's welcome Mr. Kanaga Sabapathi to Chanakya English. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, sir, I know you have been you played a key role in the National Education Policy 2020. So before we get into that topic, can you talk about what literacy means to you and how has been the growth rate in India?
When we define literacy, it's the ability to read and write, uh, and the ability to use numbers and words. This is what the definition of literacy means. But as far as literacy is concerned, we have to understand that India was the most literate nation in the world till the Britishers came here. Till the Britishers destroyed our native education system, we were the most literate people in the world. One estimate says that the literacy rate was about 97% in 1820s. But Macaulay system was introduced in 1835, as a result of which Indian school university education was almost completely destroyed. As a result, in 1891, the famous author Will Durant says that India's literacy rate in 1891 was just 9%. And girls were the most affected people. The female literacy rate was just 6%. So, in a period of just 65 years, India's native education system was completely almost destroyed. So, as a result, from about 96-97% in 1820s, our literacy rate came down to 9% or so. But even before independence, with the rise of the Swadeshi movement, our people, native Indians, started the school educations, university education, and all, as a result of which, at the time of independence in 1950-51, when we started collecting the macro details for the country as a whole, the literacy rate was about 17 to 18%. From then onwards, if you take now, we have achieved a lot. 2011 census, the last census says at that time the literacy rate was about 73%, but now it is 14 years more. The National Statistical uh, Census, they took a sample, National Statistical Office, NSS office. So they estimated in 2017-18 the literacy rate was about 80-81%. So surely the literacy rate must be more than 80% now. Again, if we see the literacy rate among girls, it has also seen wide, very fast improvement between 2001 and 2001. If you see the decadal growth rate of literacy among boys and girls, girls were much higher, more than about 5%. So now the literacy rate is, increasing. So it's more than 80% now. Again, the divide between rural and urban areas, again, they are decreasing now. In urban areas, it is estimated that the literacy rate should be around 90%. Rural areas about 77-78%. So, in the last 77-78 years, we have come a long way, and our literacy rate should be around more than 80% now, even though We will come to know the exact details only after the census is taken.
So, what was the reason behind formulating NEP, sir?
Yes. The national education policy was formulated with the important objective of, I would say, nationalizing the education system. Some important scholar mentioned that the national development is primarily built through the schools and universities, colleges. So the type of education that we give is very, very important, particularly for a country like India with thousands of years of achievements, backgrounds. We need national education. We all know that India was the pioneer in education, not just in education, in economics, uh, science, technology. We were pioneer for thousands of years. The first university in the world was established here some 2,700 years back. So we have had a very long history, and all our achievements were based on the nationalistic kind of education, because children should be taught based on their local conditions, based on their strengths and weaknesses. Unfortunately, even before the independence, our national leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, they all wanted a nationalistic kind of education. Maharishi Sri Aurobindo, he has written a lot about it. Before them, Swami Vivekananda. So they were all particularly mentioning that the kind of colonial education that the government used to give through this Macaulay education policy was not suitable for us. It's completely against us. There is Swami Vivekananda's famous quote: "When you go to school, you learn to um, despise your parents. You don't respect your parents because you are taught that your ancestors, your elders do not know anything. So that kind of education system should be changed. That was the main idea. But
When you say
unfortunately, after the
nationalistic, sorry to interrupt you, but just to understand, when you say nationalistic, do you mean a unified education system throughout India, or a sort of a feel for my nation sort of thing, like a patriotism as part of my education?
Yes. What I meant was nation centric education. That would be better. Nationalistic
Okay.
also forms part of this nationalistic education.
Okay.
We have to understand India is a very diverse country,
Hmm.
and in each region, the languages that people speak, the dresses that they wear, the food that our people eat, is completely different. So when we say national education policy, this NEP gives only broad counters, broad boundaries only. Within which there is lot of scope for including the local requirements, etc. You know, when the first national education was policy was formed, I think it was formed in a hurry, so it did not fully satisfy our requirements. Similarly, in 1986, the a policy was formed. That policy again contained serious lapses. So that is why when the government under Prime Minister Modi came to power in 2014, it was decided that we have to reframe the entire national education policy from nation-centric point of view. All of us know many things. For example, Rajaraja Chola was one of the greatest kings of India, maybe the whole world. But he was not mentioned in detail even in Tamil Nadu. We do not know anything about him. But we were taught about Aurangzeb, we were taught about Akbar. Many of them were barbarians, killed our own people, destroyed our temple, destroyed our society. So this was the education system that was formulated and being used for several decades, even after independence. This is just one example. It is not just history. Even in the contemporary aspects, we don't teach. I'm a management teacher. I was a finance professor. Whatever we teach in classrooms are largely based on American theories, which don't apply here at all. For the last 30 years, some of us, we have been going across the country to see what is happening at the ground level. How economic activities are taking place, business activities are taking place. In India, whatever we see is a completely different system. This is a relationship based society. People, sacrifice their life for the next generation. For the next generation, they try to promote small enterprises, which some of them become medium and large scale enterprises. uh, Here, the way the societies function, the way the economies function is completely different from the way which we teach in classrooms. So even the contemporary aspects, whatever may be it, its economic aspect, business aspect, social aspect, they are not being discussed. We teach only largely the Western, European, colonial, now American models. There is one famous um, sociological professor. There was, his name Max Weber. He wrote in early 20th century that countries like India and China can never progress because these people believe in karma. These people believe in rebirth. This is what he wrote. But still, in sociology classes, we are teaching the same theory. It is one of the most important theories. But what happened, if you see, in the last 40 years, 50 years, 30 years, it is precisely these two countries that are growing fast. And Max Weber said it is only Protestant countries that would progress. But you see, Protestant countries are facing serious difficulties now, whether it is Britain or New Zealand or Canada or even to an extent America. So these kind of theories that we are still teaching. These are just examples. Our Anna University Vice Chancellor Dr. Bola Gurusamy used to say that a student who has completed 4 years of electrical engineering course, when he goes home after uh, completing his education, and when his mother asks him to fix this fuse, he doesn't know. But he has studied 4 years electrical engineering, but he doesn't know even the basic things. This is the reality. There is huge gap between what is being taught and what is necessary, what is being prevalent. So this is the reason why this national education policy was planned. And this national education policy, when it was the team was constituted, they took 4 years. They visited all the districts in India, almost all the districts, met with faculty members, teachers, educationists, parents, people from different walks of life, got their views. And then 2019, a draft was released. And then again, views were received from different sections of people, even through email, several email responses. And after that, Dr. Kasturi Rangan committee, Kasturi Rangan was one of the very famous scientists. So they finalized this NEP, which was then uh, accepted by the government. So this NEP 2020 is a very comprehensive document. It takes into account the views of almost all the sections of the society, and it has studied in detail for almost 4.5 5 years different aspects related to education, and then they have submitted this NEP.
Okay, but wouldn't it be unfair to actually say the West influence is not in NEP? Because I think most of us do think in those terms, right? I think how we include extracurricular activities, or that I mean, if you look at NEP, how education and the extracurricular activities is given equal importance, right? So that is all something from the West to some extent, isn't it?
No, but first of all, we have to understand that as far as education is concerned, the West was a very, very late entrant. Dharam Paul, the well known Gandhian, has written a book titled The Beautiful Tree. The Beautiful Tree explains as to how the education system was there in India till the 19th century, beginning of the 19th century. He compares it with the education system in Britain. Great Britain at that time was the most powerful nation. In fact, he says even by 1800, 200 years back, there was no school education system at all. There were few schools, only though, even those schools were functioning only on Saturday and Sunday. Those schools were teaching only Bible. There was no mathematics, no science, because that was not there in their system, and only rich people were allowed inside the school, allowed into the school system. So when we say that the Western system, we have to understand that we have had much better system than the Western system. Westerners were late entrants into this education. Of course, in the last 200 years, they have improved a lot, and whatever is there, we have to take it into account. But as far as the sports aspects are concerned, extracurricular aspects are concerned, of course, we have included the best system anywhere in the world. But we have to understand, we ourselves had a better system. Now, when we prepared this NEP 2020, we have taken the best aspects from other countries as well. There is nothing wrong. You know, we have to understand the unique characteristics or aspects of this NEP. This NEP for the first time says that in India, mother tongue is the best medium for education. So everyone should read their mother tongue at least up to fifth standard. Fifth standard. This is very important because when we read through mother tongue naturally, the child will be able to understand things better. He will be able to grasp ideas better. He will be able to express also. So this is one. If we see the NEP properly, we will understand that what we call today LKG, UKG, first standard, second standard, that stage, preliminary stage, during those years, children are mainly taught these plays, sports, drawings, such kind of things. No teaching aspect at all, because in those during those periods, child may not be interested to study, but it is better that we engage the children in better ways. So that is the reason why during those 4 years, from what we call LKG to second standard, the kind of education that the NEP proposes is something that will suit the children naturally. So they will be interested to come to the school. They will always be happy to be within the school, playing with the classmates under the guidance of a teacher and all. And again, from third standard onwards, slight improvement in the sense that subjects are slightly added. But for the first up to fifth standard, education through mother tongue, and above sixth standard, particularly from eighth onwards, children are taught the different vocations
Education.
also. Vocations in which they have interest, or vocations that are prevalent in their area. For example, if you take Coimbatore, it could be something related to foundry, something like that. These things are not decided by the central government. The local authorities here, along with the parents and students, they will be deciding. It is not the Delhi that will decide. It's not even Chennai. So NEP gives the discretionary power to the local authorities. So through this method, children will be able to naturally, understand a vocation that is either prevalent in their locality or that they are interested. So that when they complete 12th standard, they will get interest to know something practical also. So if they are interested, when the higher education can be in their chosen field. It could be something related to engineering also, which type of engineering. So this education gives discretion to the children to excel in the subject in which they have their special inclination. This is very important. And this NEP for the first time, gives overall framework from kindergarten up to university education. If somebody is interested to pursue education in their own mother tongue till their PhD, well and good, they can do it. But it's not compulsory. But up to fifth,
Even
yeah,
your
yeah.
mother tongue for first to fifth grade is not compulsory, right? I think some schools can choose to keep it English.
Yes, yes. Or yeah, when I say mother tongue, I said it very simply because either it is mother tongue or the language that they speak in their homes or that the language of the locality.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
so
So
that is
this is,
not mandatory. The first
uh,
language is not really mandatory. But I think
but
that the
they,
first language and second language is not a major concern, but it's the third language when it comes into the picture. Majority of the voices that are raising right now against it is louder now, because I think the third language, for it to be a regional language, is, I think, the problem really.
see, actually, we have to understand that scientific studies, several studies show that the children are capable of learning three, four, five languages. So idea is in a country like India, which is very diverse, it is better that we learn three languages. One, of course, is mother tongue. It's very, very important. Second is English because it has become a universal language. Third one, a link language. It could be anything. For example, I am from Coimbatore, this region. There are very many people who come from Telugu background. Many of my own students were from Telugu background. They know how to speak in Telugu, but they don't know reading and writing. They have forgotten. Why don't we give them an opportunity to learn Telugu so that they can read and write? In Metupalayam, which is about 50, 60 kilometers from Coimbatore, consists of people from Kannada background. Why don't we give them Kannada education, the children, so that it will be easy for them, for the children to master third language also, because that is their mother tongue actually. And we have huge Malayali population here. Why don't we offer Malayalam as the third language? And those who are interested, they can learn any language, whether it is Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, or Hindi being spoken by a large number of people, or Sanskrit, which is one of the oldest languages in India that has huge wisdom, in itself. So why don't we give them an enough opportunity? And there is no compulsion here. These
But
people.
sir, here's the other issue that comes up with this, right? So third language, you're saying that, I get your point. You're trying to diversify the languages in the country, but from a perspective of opposition, if you look at it, their points are that uh, if I required a third language for career, right? I mean, we have a lot of migrant workers who learn the languages as needed, right? We have people from the north who come to the south and they pick up Tamil, or the other way around, people have picked up Hindi. So, is there really a need to introduce this at an early age?
If we introduce it at an early age, it will be better. I'll give my own experience. For the last 25, 30 years, I have been moving outside Tamil Nadu, largely for my studies, and later during the last 10, 15 years due to my responsibilities also. Many of my studies are outside Tamil Nadu. So had I learned Hindi, it would have been certainly better for me to interact with the people, to understand them, to understand their viewpoints. What is wrong? When other states are
So,
teaching
you're
three
not
languages,
really saying language, you're also including culture with that, right?
yeah, every language has a culture behind it, has a history behind it. Why should you deny it? The problem is because if we take the leaders children and grandchildren, they are all studying in three language schools, and they run schools that offer three languages, most largely Hindi, but they are denying the benefit to the ordinary children, poor children. So this is the problem, and there is no uniformity here. There are people who come from privileged sections, even the no, middle class people. Every one of them would like to put their children only in the schools, CBSE schools, which offer three languages. But we deny that opportunity to the poor children. How is it fair? I remember even from my generation onwards, or maybe earlier, Hindi was denied. When we entered schools, there was no Hindi. But I remember there was one Hindi lady teacher. She always used to do clerical work, but we always called her Hindi teacher. And very late, after many, many years, I came to know that she was actually an Hindi teacher, but after DMK came to power, it removed it. As a result, they used them in the schools as clerks. So this is how we were denied. But at that time, the story was different. There was compulsion. But now there is no compulsion. You need not learn Hindi. You can learn any other third language. So what is your problem? You are
But the other another angle to this is now, how about like, wouldn't it be better to learn also foreign languages, right? I mean, Chinese, French, Spanish. So these are also, I mean, I guess private schools are given that freedom to have that third language, but now in the public schools we are saying that no, just stick to the regional languages. Why not foreign languages?
see, even for three languages, these people are opposing. No there is nothing against learning any language. You can learn as many languages as possible. We all know that former prime minister Narasimha Rao used to know some 15, 16 languages. There are many people like him. There is no bar. The more language that you learn, it will be better for you. But the problem is here in the NEP, we cannot mention this. Even for three languages, they are opposing. Why third language, Indian language? Because in India, Indian languages, we have, we have better, we can have better utility. You can go anywhere, you can do it, and, interact with the people. If you want to know French, yes, better, you read it. No bar against it. German, no problem. So, but we have to understand here the population of France is almost equal to or less than the population of Tamil Nadu. So when we imagine a country like that, if you take United Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh put together, it's almost the population of Germany. So you have to understand what kind of market we will have. There is no bar. You can learn as many languages, even smallest country language you can learn. But as far as NEP is concerned, when the government gives a formula, it limits itself to three languages because you know beyond which if you want you can read, no problem at all. But here, why we are insisting third language? We ourselves have so many languages with a history. If you see classical languages in India today, there are six six languages or six or seven languages now. Telugu, Kannada. Why don't you read it? Particularly when you say DMK people, we have Dravida model government. These languages, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, they are all Dravidian languages. Why don't you accept it? So this is their double standard. Second, we have to understand that in Tamil Nadu, the importance for Tamil is coming down. Tamil medium schools are getting closed. And even today in Tamil Nadu, Tamil is not compulsory in many schools. The present chief minister, he himself said when he was in the opposition that he will make Urdu as compulsory language. Even a few days back, 2 weeks back, there was a government announcement which says that for those students minority belonging to minority community, particularly one Muslim community, they need not write Tamil, they can write Urdu. So where is your affection for Tamil? So in Tamil Nadu, everything is politics. Politics is being played out in Tamil Nadu, even in a very, very serious matter like language issue. This is very bad for the country, very bad for the future of the children of Tamil Nadu.
And how was the acceptance of this third language outside of Tamil Nadu? I mean, mainly in the northern states. I mean, are they ready to bring in another regional language, maybe even the South Indian languages, to their state as a third language?
Yes, yes. Now as far as I know, I think last count, it may be more now. More than 20 state governments have accepted, 20 or 21 state governments had already accepted this NEP, including opposition party run governments. Telangana, it's not BJP government. Even when the earlier government was there, they accepted it. And Congress party government, they have accepted it. So in all these states, they have given the third languages. Many third languages they have given. Largely they have given the languages of the neighboring states as third language. That is good, fine, because they can go to that neighboring language, neighboring state, move with them freely and all, understand their things. So there are certain schools in Uttar Pradesh, I know, earlier Haryana, I know, that gives Tamil as the third language. Tamil as the third language. So now these people, these critics, if they are really interested, they should speak about the greatness of Tamil to the other states by publishing Tamil books through Hindi, through other languages, which the Classical Tamil Institute under Prime Minister Modi is doing now. They are publishing Tamil books in different Indian languages, different languages. It is not just Tirukural alone, Sangam literature, many books they are doing it. They should have DMK government, these people should have done it very long back. They did not do anything for it. How will they know? Now only Prime Minister speaks about the greatness of Tamil in the last 6 7 years. When the DMK was in government with Congress, UPA between 2004 and 14, what did they do? They should have done it. So once people understand that Tamil is the oldest languages in India, and we have large amount of literary texts that contain treasures, they will certainly include it. But when you don't do anything, but you want others to do it, how will they do it? You cannot expect.
How do we think BJP's votes are going to go up or down with their supporting this third language? Because if you look at it in Tamil Nadu, none of the other parties are really supporting it, upfront. They may or may not, but they are not very vocal about it. But BJP is taking that stand and saying, no, we are up for this, and this is not in the imposition. They've clearly stated that. But how do you think is that going to affect their vote base?
No, here, everything we should not look it from the vote point of view. These political parties, many times, they are what we call politically correct, but it is not correct. We are playing with the lives of the children. Already in India, Tamil Nadu, of course, we have number of schools, colleges, our gross enrollment ratio is higher. But we have to understand, if we see the literacy rate, we are somewhere around the 10th place. We are not first or second. We have to remember that literacy rate. And in national level competitions, our children are not succeeding to the extent that we desire. No, you take JEE examination or any examination. So now I know, because I visit some of the universities in other states also frequently for lectures and then conferences. They have implemented NEP in full. So they are in the fourth year. So a fourth year engineering student in, say, Madhya Pradesh, he would have spent several months in factories, practically working, and he would have learned some of them in their own mother tongue. Are we doing it? Are we giving it to the Tamil Nadu children? Why the Tamil Nadu government have not translated or prepared books in Tamil for all engineering courses, for all medical courses? They have already done it in some other states. Why are you not doing it? You should have done it, and you should teach whatever subject that the children want, whether it is engineering or archaeology, whatever it is, medicine, in your own mother tongue. But you are not doing it. You are only criticizing them. So the point that we have to understand is that Tamil Nadu in future will have a serious problem, in my opinion. I am a Tamilian. I come from academic background. I say it in the interest of the future of Tamil Nadu, that unless we rectify our mistakes, it will be very difficult for the children of Tamil Nadu in future to compete with others. It will be very, very difficult. So we have to understand that we have to make improvements in different areas. Of course, our gross enrollment ratios is higher. There are schools, in terms of schools and colleges, we have high number, and that is not because of DMK government alone. The late Kamaraj Ayya was the main reason for giving school education. And there are many philanthropists, many people who are interested in education. So many private schools, many private universities, colleges, they are giving education. And Prime Minister Modi in the last 10 years he has given 11 medical colleges to Tamil Nadu, highest number in India. So this we have to keep in mind. So when these people say that we are good, in fact we are not good in different aspects. You might have seen the ASER survey, ASER survey. You please go through. They are pointing out every time what is lacking here. But these people don't consider it because it is giving negative opinion about them. If you see the higher education system in India, uh, it has become, it's universities are more corrupt in India, in Tamil Nadu, than anywhere else in India. You see in the last 10 years how many vice chancellors have gone to jail or facing serious charges of corruption. Nowhere in India you see this. Why? Because education system has become corrupt. And even today if you go to the schools, many of the schools lack basic facilities. They are spending 45,000 crores for school education. Can't they build better buildings? Buildings are not available in some of the schools, even in Trichy district, from which the school education minister comes. So this they have to rectify.
But they're claiming that they're not getting the enough funds as much as they probably should also.
See, we have to understand, as far as their criticism against fund is concerned, it is regarding only one scheme. As far as that scheme is concerned, it contains that see some rules. These people, they have agreed to follow, they have signed, and now they say that we don't we you have to give money even though we don't follow it. But there are other schemes, several other schemes for which government of India is giving money to Tamil Nadu. There are several other schemes which are for which funds are being given. So these 2,000 crores or 3,000 crores is not an issue for you. This is a big state. What were you doing for the last 55, 60 years? You tell. You don't have a right to criticize others. You have not done anything for Tamil. You have not done anything for improving the school, university education system. Of course, certain developments have happened, but basic difficulties are there with regard to the education system in Tamil Nadu. Even today, there is complete political interference, and you assured say minimum some salary benefits, retirement benefits to the school teachers. You are not giving it. Why? Because of your poor fiscal management, financial management. You cannot blame the central government for everything. This particular scheme, under this particular scheme, there are systems which for which funds will be given only when you agree. While all other states are agreeing, what is the problem for you? What is the problem for you? And government of India now is giving money funds for ICT education, computer technology, ICT. But here that the full-time teachers were not appointed. Full-time teachers should be there. Central government is giving funds, but these people have not appointed full-time teachers. And separate classes should be conducted. You clubbed it with other subjects. What are you doing it? We have a right to question. So here you mentioned that while DMK is bent upon spoiling the education system in Tamil Nadu, BJP is the only party which says the truth. We are not worried about vote bank. We have to say in the interest of the children that this will be better. This is better. Other parties also know that this is better, but many maybe for electoral purposes they are not doing it. If the DMK is sincere, will they send their children, leaders, will they send their children and grandchildren to the schools that teach only two languages? Why are they not doing it? Why are they not doing it? Everyone in India, every parent would like to give the best education to the children, whether somebody is poor or rich, somebody is a politician or an ordinary person. So when you are sending your own family children to particular type of schools, why are you denying it to others? That is the basic point. I think people will understand it. Mahatma Gandhi ji once said, sometime even when People may not believe something is right. It is our duty as a political organization to tell them that this is right. They will understand. Till 4 5 years back, these people were saying NEET is very bad for children. Now NEET has proved that people from very ordinary backgrounds, poor backgrounds, they can enter into medical colleges just for 50 by paying 15,000, 16,000 rupees as fee per year. NEET has given that opportunity. Now there is no opposition. Similarly, for this also, in the next maybe next few years, there may not be opposition, but it is our duty as a political party, without bothering about the what share, to educate our people, to tell our people. Again, here there is no compulsion. Even today, DMK leaders, including Mr. Stalin, they are saying Hindi is imposed. There is no single line in the NEP which says you should study this language. It says only mother tongue, no other imposition. But they are all falsely saying this. People will understand.
Okay. And sir, what's the future vision for NEP? I mean, can we say that we would have this one unified education system in India maybe a couple of years down the line? Or is this just to better the education for the poor? I mean, just what is that vision really?
Actually, this is not a unified system. As I said earlier, it gives only broad framework for the country as a whole. Here, there is enough scope for the state governments. There is enough scope for the district authorities to include, subject change systems based on their requirements. This is very very important. Of course, India is a great nation. We have thousands of years of history. We are united by culture, we are united by our civilization. So we have common features across the country. We are one. So in this country, of course, there are different languages. Each should be given importance, and each one's mother tongue. Some of the languages are spoken by few thousand people, but each of them are very very important. That is why NEP says that even the dialects that are being spoken by small sections of people, for which there are no written scripts, they should be protected. And there is provision in that NEP. These people should understand. A few days back, Tamil Nadu CM was saying that dialects have already died. Somebody should read NEP and then tell him that there are provisions for it. NEP clearly says all the local dialects also should be preserved, for which steps are being taken. You also take steps. That is what we want. Our mother tongue should be protected, should be promoted, and each should learn uh, our mother tongue, Tamil. That is not happening. So as far as the future is concerned, certainly the future for India is very bright. It is imperative, it is very important that our children are taught education through mother tongue, at least during the initial period, because our mother tongue, particularly language like Tamil, we have enormous history behind it, culture behind it, civilization behind it, which you cannot learn through English. It's impossible. So we have to learn. Some people are opposing for political purposes. Why Congress government, all Congress governments are not opposing it? Why even communist government is not opposing it? They know. But these people are doing it for politics.
Okay. And so moving away a little bit from NEP, just one last question relating to delimitation. So Chief Minister M.K. Stalin recently told the crowd that have more children in Tamil Nadu because he wants to increase the population in Tamil Nadu so we don't lose our parliament seats. What is your thought on that?
See, actually, as far as this delimitation is concerned, I think Chief Minister has mentioned it in the context of um, this delimitation exercise, uh, which might come in future. Of course, there is no announcement from the center as such with regard to this. As our constitution says that after a specific period, depending upon the population, the parliamentary seats, assembly seats should be boundary should be reclassified. This is what this is, and it has been happening since independence. Earlier, there have been several exercises like this. I think four or so exercise. Now the government has clearly said, constitutional amendment, I think 84th amendment 2002, which says that after 2026, government may plan for this delimitation exercise. So accordingly, after the census is taken, delimitation might come, but the delimitation will be based on the parameters already fixed by the government and followed for a long time. See, here we have to understand, in this context, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, to hide the failure of the government, his government, corruption of his government, he has again created another controversy saying that when we do this delimitation, our seats will decrease. Home
So this is
Minister, Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah, he has specifically stated that even though for states in southern India, like Tamil Nadu, population may not have increased to the extent of the population increase in some of the northern states, due to this delimitation exercise, your seats will not be reduced. It will be proportional. So when seats are increased, again the seats proportional, the increase will be increase, all India basis increase will be taken into account in Tamil Nadu also. So they have clearly stated in no case our number of seats will decrease. From 39, it will not come down, it will go up only. So this is the point. So in spite of the Home Minister giving this assurance, they are again doing it, again with political motive only. We need not worry. So the central government is very transparent, honest. They don't do anything against the interests of whether it is Tamil Nadu or any states. So the DMK chief minister is doing it only for political purposes. And as far as population is increase is concerned, yes, it's his view. Every government, everybody can have its view. Very recently, the Andhra Pradesh chief minister, Shri Chandrababu Naidu, also has mentioned that because the population is decreasing in states like Andhra, our people should be encouraged to have more children. So only those with two children or more would be allowed to contest the local body elections. Of course, it does not come into effect, but has given his opinion. So everybody can have his own or her own opinion. So no problem, no problem about it. It's up to the parents, or it is up to the families, it is up to the leaders to decide. But in the context of delimitation exercise, the Honorable Home Minister of India has already stated very clearly that Tamil states of Tamil Nadu or any other southern states will not be decreased due to this exercise.
okay. Thank you so much for your time, sir, and
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate your giving us
Thank you.
this
Thank you.
time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for watching Chanakya English. Stay tuned for more such discussions.